Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Jordan. Jordan is from New Orleans in the USA. So let's see what Jordan has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello, Jordan. I'm very well. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for taking the time for the interview today. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Jordan, tell me, how's your day been so far?
It's been good. It's Friday, so it's been a slow work day.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
So, Jordan, tell me where you're from.
I am from Dallas, Texas, and I live in New Orleans.
So why the change for Dallas to New Orleans?
New Orleans is much better than Texas. Texas is like a hate state.
And all your family are back there in Texas?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
See? And what do you do for work, for living?
I work for a promotional products company, and so I work from home, which is awesome. My dog loves that. So,
Tell me a little bit about your job.
so I'm basically like the middleman between like a factory and all my customers. They basically order stuff through me, and then I work with the factory to get them what they need.
Interesting.
I'm like a monkey on a keyboard. So I listen to music and play with my dog all day, basically.
How old is your dog?
My dog is 2 years old.
Oh, what's their name?
Jet.
Oh, amazing. And how long have you lived in New Orleans for?
I've lived in New Orleans for 3 years, and then before that, I was here for Katrina, and I had lived here for 7 years.
Oh, wow. Great.
Yeah, yeah.
Jordan, before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like to tell me something interesting about yourself.
Interesting about myself. Well, I'm transgender, and I actually transitioned at 45, and I'm 48 right now. So I've actually only been male for 3 years. So that was it was a late transition.
Wow. So tell me, walk me through a little bit about this experience for the last 3 years.
For the last 3 years, well, I mean, I grew facial hair. that was interesting. Yeah, and just my voice dropped, and just like navigating that, and walking now as a male in society is different compared to what it was before. So that's definitely a change.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. Such a great time of your life. You living your true self.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Thanks for sharing. Amazing. Right, Jordan, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories of life and to share your point of view?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. Okay, floor for the fun questions. I'm just going to play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question. Let's do it. Jordan, before we start the game, through the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
Right, first question for you is, who is your biggest idol and what have you learned with this person?
I would say my biggest idol was Michael Jordan growing up. I actually chose my name Jordan after Michael Jordan. I played college basketball, and he was like my biggest idol in high school growing up. I just thought he was like the most amazing basketball player. His work ethic, like he was the best.
Wow. And what's the biggest lesson you've learned from him?
If you work hard and put time in and stay dedicated, like you can like literally achieve anything.
Amazing. Great. do you still play basketball or not?
Oh yeah, for sure. I play in a league here in New Orleans. Yeah.
Wow, my goodness. Yeah. How often do you train?
We have games once a week, And I want to play more, but right now it's once a week. Right now.
Right. Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what has been the lowest point of your life?
Lowest point, probably when my family rejected me for being gay, and I kind of got kicked out of my house, and haven't spoken to them in like 30 years.
Oh, wow. And that's a big thing. And do you always being open at the time, like you always being like, say, did you come out one point, did they find out? Walk me through a little bit your journey.
Yeah, I came out. I came out at 18, and they were not accepting. And like I've just always kind of known that like if you're not your authentic self, it just gets really hard. And so once I came out and they were just kind of like, no, we're not having it, I was just like, bye. And like I ended up being homeless for a little while, and I just found that my family were friends that I chose, and so you choose your family. That worked better.
And the day when you came out, Jordan, tell me, did something happen, or you just felt like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna be open, I'm gonna be my true self from now on?
Yeah, I basically was just like, well, they were kind of authoritarian, and they were like, I'm gonna try to tell you what to do, and this is how you're gonna be. And just naturally I was just like, no, this is who I am, and this is how I am, and yeah, this is me, so deal with it or don't. And they were like, no, we're not having it. And I was like, okay, bye.
And the flip side, the opposite side of the question, what has been the happiest point of your life?
When I decided to transition, and basically, and it kind of still happening. And then also I met my boyfriend, my first boyfriend, 2 months ago. And so that's actually been the happiest, both transitioning and meeting him.
And um, tell me about the transition. When did you realize that, let's say, you were in the wrong body? That you'd realize that for you, you are not yourself completely. There was a moment, or it's kind of you realize through your life.
Oh, well, I mean, I knew I was in the wrong body when I was 5. I used to actually, in kindergarten, I would tell all of my friends that I was just like them, but God changed his mind at the last minute. So I knew really, really young that something was different. I just didn't have the words to really explain what it was. But then my parents were like, no, you can't say that. So it was kind of like, don't talk about it. So I kind of like just buried it for a little while. And then about 3 years ago, I was like, this is who I am, and I need to just go ahead and do this. Like I had buried it for too long. And then once I got my top surgery and I started testosterone, I was like, this is right. And this feels a lot better. And so then I started feeling like more authentically me. And it literally, even though it was like late, like I would have loved to have done it at 20, but even now I wouldn't change it. Like it was the best decision ever.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I'm so glad that we connected, during this time of your life, you know what I mean? Because I can
Yeah.
feel your happiness. I got goosebumps now. I can feel how happy you are. You are in the right place that you always
Yeah.
belong to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great. Good for you, Jordan. I'm so happy for you. Very good. Next question. Next question for you is, what does success mean to you?
I would say success means reaching whatever level of happiness is for you. And like for me, that means being authentically me and following my dreams and aspirations for myself. And I would say that that's the same for anybody. Just reaching whatever your goals are for yourself, and whatever your happiness is for yourself. Like for me, it's being authentic and just being who I am. And for someone else, that might be like getting their dream car or whatever. But just for me, it's literally just being in the right body, and just being me.
Totally. I believe that success is very personal. As you said,
Yeah.
success could be, maybe waking up earlier than usual. Success could be, achieving something that for you always very difficult. For you, like your case, being your truly self in the right place, in the right body, could be money, could be anything. I think success is a very personal, you know what I mean, choice or way of approaching success. That's what I
Yeah.
believe as well. Do you believe that happiness is a choice?
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me why.
The happiness is a choice because, like, it's really easy to fall into like a negative mindset. It's easier to be negative, like to be positive is a choice. Like, especially in today's world, it's so easy to be negative, and like it's harder to be positive, because there's so much negativity and like in the news, and like it's natural to fall into like negativity. It's so much easier, but like to be positive, like you have to like wake up and do like positive affirmations and tell yourself sometimes like be positive, like it's just harder. Like we naturally want to just like fall into the, oh, like the day's crappy. But like it's a choice. It's definitely a choice to try to pull yourself out of like a rainy day. When it's gloomy outside, you have to like pull yourself up and say, okay, I'm gonna have a good day regardless.
Amazing. Very good. Ready for another question?
Yes.
Let's do it. Next question. Before the next question, it's visible, your tattoos, your beautiful tattoos around your body. Tell me, which one is the first one and which one is the latest one?
Oh God. So the first one was actually it's there was a rose tattoo. I don't know if you
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah, I can
So
see.
underneath the rose tattoo, when I was 18, I had Wiley Cody. Because Looney Tunes were really popular, so I had Wiley Cody underneath that rose. So that was actually the first one. The latest one is actually this one. Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
the
wow.
lion.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's actually not finished yet. I have it's like halfway done. I still have to get the main, but it's in progress.
Jordan, when I was checking your profile, your pictures, it got my attention, and I really liked the tattoo you had, the snake going around your body. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, that's so creativity, because I never seen like that before. And I really liked it. There is any meaning for you, or is just you liked the tattoo?
It actually does have meaning. So a snake is about transformation, because they shed their skin, and so that had a lot to do with like my transition. Because basically it was like when I transitioned, it was like me shedding my old skin and coming into my new self. So yeah, it had a lot to do with that.
Amazing. Beautiful. When I saw it, it was the first thing that caught my attention. Wow, I need to ask him about it. Next question is how would you got a boyfriend now? How would your boyfriend or your best friends describe yourself?
Oh God. I feel like my boyfriend would describe me as a role model, as a mouthpiece or a spokesperson for othered or transgender people.
Mhm.
And I would too as well. I try to be someone who is visible and speaks for people that can't, because a lot of transgender people can't be visible and can't speak for themselves, whether they're in situations where they can't be visible, or they can't, like maybe they're not out or they're closeted or whatever. So I think that's probably what he would say.
Wow. Saying that, what's the biggest similarity between you and your boyfriend and the biggest difference?
The biggest similarity, I would say that both we're both very much into gay rights and trans rights, like queer rights. And the
Mhm.
biggest difference, I would say he's calm in areas that I'm not. And I'm calm in areas that he's not. Like I get anxious about certain things that he doesn't. So we kind of balance each other out. Like whenever I'm anxious about something, he's not. And if he's anxious about something, I'm not. So we're like the perfect complements for each other in the right way.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Next question. Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Next question for you is, what is your funniest memory of your time at school?
Funnest memory of my time at school. Okay, so when I was in first grade, I mostly hung out with boys, right? Because I thought I basically was like I'm a boy, and so I had a ton of boyfriends, and we used to chase and tackle the little girls, and we would chase them, tackle them, and kiss them, and I was the best at that game. And I don't mean like we would just like tackle them a little bit, like we would bulldoze them. We would run full sprint and tackle them and like assault them and kiss them. And I was the best at that game because I was so fast. That was like,
I'm
and I
curious,
loved that game so much.
who was your first crush?
Who was my first crush? It was a little boy in the first grade. His name was Greg.
Wow, you remember? Wow.
Yeah.
And your female crush, who was it?
My first female crush, her name was Lisa.
Wow. Back in school as well?
It was, yeah, she was it was actually, I was 7 years old too. It was in the first grade, man. I was busy in the first grade.
Visibly, I can see.
Yeah. I had no gender preference then either. I was this guy. I liked everybody.
You're exploring, you'll find
Yeah,
yourself.
for sure.
Next question. Next question is, oh, good question. Let's say you have the attention of the president of the USA right now, yeah? And you can give just one advice to your current president. What would you say? Just one, just one.
I would be like, you need to fix the Roe versus Wade situation and overturn that ruling because that's ridiculous.
Cool.
Hands down, fix that.
I just hope this interview gets to him somehow. You never know.
Right?
You never know. Imagine you get a phone call tomorrow when it goes live the interview. Look, this is the president of the USA. I just watched your interview now on Really the Magic Box, and I love your advice, and I'm gonna follow.
I mean, like, there's so much to fix, but like, just that one thing just annoys the crap out of me. Like, I need to fix that right now.
Amazing. Right, I have 3 questions left for you. Let's do it.
Okay.
For the next question, Jordan, as you know, I can see that you are so happy right now. You're proud of yourself. That for the 3 years you literally living your life, your best life. Tell me a question. Through those years since you started your transition, yeah. Tell me what has been the most difficult part for you, and what has been the, let's say, the most enjoyable part of it.
I would say the hardest part. Hardest part was so I was married to a woman before I transitioned, and divorcing her was hard because I did care about her, and I divorced her because I realized that I was attracted to men. So I hurt her in the process. And that was probably the hardest part because I didn't mean to hurt her, but I did. The happiest part was finding my current boyfriend because I do love him very, very much. And so that's opened up like a whole new future. And I haven't ever loved anybody like I love him. And it's kind of awesome because I didn't think that was possible. And like I said, he's my first boyfriend. I've never had a boyfriend before. So that is amazing. So yeah, that's my favorite part.
Wow, very interesting. And interesting saying that. So as you say that he's your first boyfriend, yeah? A male
Yeah.
boyfriend that you have. Um, Before that, you're with women only, yeah? What
Yes.
for you kind of light up this new desire, or it's something that you always had, or you never explored, or it just happened?
Honestly, I just kind of identified as a lesbian prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it wasn't necessarily that I didn't have an attraction to men. I just it since I identified as a lesbian because I had kind of buried the transgender part of me, I just didn't explore it. It just kind of fit because that was the only category I fit into. I was kind of like a tomboy, and it was like, well, I didn't really fit anywhere else because I'm 48. So like growing up, transgender, like that language didn't exist when I was
Mm-hmm.
growing up. Like I didn't know anybody that was transgender, and like transitioning didn't exist. So it was kind of like, I guess I'm a lesbian, like I didn't know anybody that was transgender, and nobody talked about transitioning. So like me transitioning at 20 wasn't ever an option. Like that wasn't something that I didn't know anybody that had transitioned. Like I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't have done that then really. Nobody was doing that. So it was like, I guess I'm a lesbian then. So but at the same time, it's like I hung out with lesbians and I was like, this doesn't really fit either, but like I guess I'll just hang out with these people. Like it didn't really fit, but it fit better than me being a straight female. I was like, I guess these are my people because those
I
aren't my
see.
people.
See. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question for you is, when was the last time that you laughed so hard that you couldn't stop?
So, okay, my boyfriend Kyle and I went to a pop-up amusement park. Those ones that like show up in a parking lot, that they literally like pop up like in 2 seconds and they look all rickety and crazy. And we went on the one that like literally just goes in circle. And so it kept we kept going like in 360 circles, and kept it kept like throwing us around, and I couldn't help it, and I was like, my butt. And like every single time we kept getting like looped around, I just literally kept saying my butt, and it hurt. And so Kyle, he literally kept saying, like, that was like the quote of the night was my butt. And then we both just like literally just kept laughing all night because that was the quote of the day was my butt. And I was so embarrassed too.
Oh dear. Two questions left. Let's do it.
Yes.
Before the next question, I'm gonna ask a tough question for you now. You don't need to answer, or you don't need to answer if you don't want to, okay? But
Okay.
the question or the message is this. Let's see. So as you mentioned, yeah, that you haven't talked to your family for a few years. You don't have any contact with your family for a few years. Let's see if maybe they are watching this interview right now, or maybe if you had a chance to send a message or say something to them. If would you like to? I can cut this off if you don't want me to put this on the interview, but if would you like to, if you had the opportunity to say something or to send a message after those years, would you like to say something?
Yeah, I would say to love yourself, and because that's probably why you don't love others. Like if you can't love yourself, that's probably why you judge others and why you treat others in a way that hurts them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's usually the root of everything. Is when you treat others poorly, it's because you don't love yourself. So yeah, I would just say love yourself. That's like the kindest way I can come at it.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Next question is, this is a good question. What does love mean to you?
What does love mean to me? I would say that love to me means embracing oneself and accepting oneself and also accepting others as they are and meeting them where they're at and also meeting yourself where you're at. It's basically just an accepting and embracing of oneself and yeah, an accepting and embracing of oneself and of others. Because if
That's
you
the,
do that, if you do that, and that's it in a nutshell.
that's the real love. That's what I believe as well. You know,
Yeah,
accepting people, embracing, you know, try to put yourself in their shoes, try to understand, try to see a bigger picture. All of that is for me a sign of love.
yeah. A lot of people need to do that too. Like if people would just do that, we would be in a much better place.
Totally, totally. And sometimes if you start to work on it, never too late. Start to work on it if you don't understand,
Yeah,
you know, try to look at yourself or to look for some information nowadays. The information is out there, you know what I mean? It's not difficult, you know, for you to get, but I think the most difficult part, they don't want to get into it. They don't want to go there. But
yeah.
if you cross that line, if you get there, trust me, you're going to be in a much better place. Not just
I
for
know.
totally. Ready for the last question, Jordan?
All right, I'm ready.
Let's do it. Last one. You always been that smiley, always.
I smile a lot.
Oh. Before the last question, you know, people watch the interview right now. Maybe, you know, they are in a moment where they want to start their transition. You know, they are maybe they don't know. Let's say they're not secure about starting the process. They don't have maybe much information. What would be your best piece of advice?
I would say to if you want to do it, if you know that that's what you want, I would say to go for it. Don't hesitate. Do your research, like for sure do research. I mean, like I when I decided to do it, I had a ton of friends on Instagram. Like you can reach out to anybody on Instagram. There's a ton of trans guys on Instagram that will message you back. And I have a ton of trans friends on Instagram that message me all the time, and like we talk back and forth. And I did research before I transitioned too. And I mean, when I would say if you have a feeling that you want to do it, that feeling is right. You don't get a feeling for no reason at all. So if you have that feeling and like that's your indicator, and I would say do it.
Other question for you, Jordan. For you, like through your experience, as you say, you talk to a lot of trans on social media. What's the most common, let's say, fear of transgenders that they want to start the process? There is like one of the biggest fear that's it's common.
I mean, like I feel like a lot of people probably struggle with the fear of like not being accepted or of violence because like I know when I moved to Louisiana, I lived in a part of Louisiana that uh, my neighbors had like Trump flags hanging from their porches, and I was kind of afraid. I was like, if people knew that I was trans, they would probably beat me up. Like there was a legit fear that like my neighbors had guns. Like I was out in the country and I was like, these people could hurt me. Like I mean, especially in the South, like that's a thing. That's a legitimate fear to worry about in the South. I mean, in the North, I don't think it's as bad, but in like Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Florida, like it's not as safe as it is in other places. So, like, I feel like a lot of people probably worry about that, and that's legitimate, But at the same time, like, I feel like the more people that transition and that come out and that are visible, I feel like people are more accepting. I think people have to be visible and people have to say this is us and this is who we are and like we're here, because the more people that are visible, it just lets people know that our population is big. You know what I'm saying? Like we are here, even though you don't know we're here, like we're here. Because, just like the queer population and the gay population, like we're here. Like the gay population was here before anybody knew it, and then people started to say, "Hey, I'm here, I'm queer, deal with it." And then it's like, look at the population now. So it's the same thing with the trans population. It's just people don't know that we're here, and so now people are starting to say, "Well, I'm trans, I'm here." And it's like all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, it's like a 2% population, a 5% population." It's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were trans." Yeah, I'm trans, right here, and now that population is bigger. So
Tot-
yeah.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you. I think nowadays people, it's so much more visible. Everywhere you see people talking about, even on, let's say, dating apps. There's always there. It's so visible now, right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think people, they're so more open about it to express the way they are, who they are. That it's so everywhere. Literally, I here in London, you know, there's always a conversation about it. There's always someone open up. There's always someone, you know, with the flag right there, like literally, you know. I think it's really, really interesting to see. I think more than ever now, the trans community, it's bigger than ever. I feel that
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Last question is, how would you describe a perfect friendship?
A perfect friendship. I would say a perfect friendship is one that is fun, that's playful, but that's also honest and supportive. Like, I know for me, like, I want a friend that is going to back me up and like literally have me when I'm in trouble, but also one that's going to be like, dude, you went a little too far. That's going to call me out when I need it. But there's also not going to be my parent because I don't need a parent. You know what I'm saying? I want them to be a stand up person for me, but not parent me because that's not their role. But that's going to be like a stand up person for me and just kind of call me out when I need it, but not interfere too much.
Best friends are a safe place to be
Yeah,
with.
for sure.
Sure. Okay, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Okay. All right.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
All right.
One word for money.
Something I don't have.
Family.
Family. Oh God, pain.
Love.
My boyfriend.
Oh, my boyfriend.
That's so mushy.
Life.
Happiness.
Sex.
Orgasm.
Ooh. Politics.
Oh, God, anger.
Okay. Religion.
My family.
Okay, I like that. Fear.
Fear. Oh, horror movies.
Big time. Friendship.
Bowling.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Desire.
My boyfriend.
My boyfriend. It's good because you're like this,
So
this.
much.
It's suddenly you are like, yes, this and that. And when you say your boyfriend, my boyfriend.
My boyfriend.
Like that.
I know.
Regret.
Oh, I don't have one for that. Regret. Yeah, that one's not coming fast at all.
Success.
My job.
Okay. Wish.
Disney.
Happiness.
My dog.
Oh. One word for New Orleans.
Party.
One word for USA.
Disaster. I know you've heard that one before.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah.
A couple times.
And the last one now. Trans community. One word.
Rising.
Yes, amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your boyfriend for a coffee and I'm going to ask him, tell me the most beautiful thing about Jordan and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What your boyfriend would say.
I would say he would say my spirit. And then one thing I need to work on, he would say my confidence in myself, like my self-love.
Wow. Do you see some work in progress regarding that?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Very good.
Every day.
Every single day, absolutely. I think all of us, we are work in progress every single day. There's a new challenge
Yeah.
always, every single day about ourselves. But the good part
Oh,
is we know it and we are working on it. That's the best part.
yeah.
Let's play now, Jordan, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, you can ask me a question now, Jordan.
Okay, so what got you started doing the magic box?
Good question. You know, I always believe, like through my life, I remember when I meet people, when they go like, you know what, I work on my dream job. I do something that I always want to do. You know, those people, they go like, okay, I love what I do. I was born for that. And I admire those people because, I think you don't see as work, you see as fun. You're doing something that you like it. And at the same time as well, I always believe that all of us, we can do different careers, different things, and still be happy. Yeah, and still be happy, still have the time of our lives. But I was always asking myself, my goodness, what I came this world for? I was always trying to, find my path. The world went upside down, 2020, everything shut down. And I was thinking, my goodness, I'd like to do something where I could connect with people, I could express myself, but I didn't know what. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to, to do, how to find my way. One day, I went to the park here in England. You could leave the house once a day for an hour to exercise or to run or do something. So I chose to in the evening. I was going for a run in the park. That was my exercise of the day. And one of those run, this idea came along, and you have no idea how happy I felt at the right time. I was like, oh my God, that's something I'm going to do. I'm just going to connect with people. I'm going to create questions. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to express myself, and I'm going to let my guests express themselves as well. So I believe the magic box is something about, about myself that was hidden somewhere that I always wanted to do. And you have no idea how happy I feel like, to be able to connect with so many people around the world, to see people, smiling and, express themselves. So I think it's a dream for me. It's a dream come true every single day.
That's so fun.
Did you enjoy the interview, Jordan?
Yeah, for sure.
By
Yeah,
the
when you sent me the message, my friend Josh, he was like, "Oh, he's great. You have to do it." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do it."
Oh,
Because at first, I was like, "Send me the link," and he was like, "No, do it." He was like, "He's great." I was like, "Okay."
oh, that's sweet. Josh is there because I was a bit confused because I had so many Josh, but now I
Yeah, yeah.
remember.
After I sent it, I was like, "He probably has no idea who I'm talking about."
Now I remember. Of course, I know him. Of course, I remember him from New Orleans as well. I remember. And
Yeah, he was like he did me and Ren, his boyfriend.
yes,
He was
yeah,
like, "You're
yeah, yeah,
so great."
yeah,
Yeah,
yes, yes. It's been for a while now. My goodness, it's been for a while now. My goodness.
yeah,
Say hello from me when you see them, please. When say
yeah,
hello.
for sure.
Jordan, thanks so much again for the interview. And again, I'm going to repeat again. I think I'm so glad we connected because you have no idea how powerful your words, your stories, and so amazing to connect with someone. We are living the best life right now, and I think it's inspiring. And I'm sure people watch the interview, they're going to appreciate that and have no idea how many people can help. Just talking about. And I think that's what is interesting. Sometimes we go through tough time in life, but at the same time as well, with our experience, we can help people. That's the best part. So thanks so much for being so open. And before you go, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
Oh yeah, I did actually. So I have an Oprah quote.
Okay.
And I love this quote because so I do a manifestation journal every day, and this one is a big one because it talks about things that you believe and like how powerful your mind is. So the quote is, "You don't become what you want, you become what you believe." And that like has to do with like, like what your mind, like you create what your mind thinks. And so think on good things.
Amazing. Very good. Regards to your boyfriend and keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show, okay?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much.
Take care, Jordan. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.